Hi everybody, Doug here. Welcome back to yet another board game channel and yet another round of Arkham Horror the card game. We continue to combat the curse of the Rougarou. Got a big horrible beastie, the dark young host, right there between our two heroes. I'm hoping they can team up and take it down. Probably should have put it further away. Well, normally I would have put it further away, except Jenny needs to attack things to feel better and not continue to slowly lose her sanity, because she is down to 5. So, well, we'll see what happens. We're going to be turning over our agenda. So we'll see what horrible things happen because of that. It may completely alter what we're going to have to do this turn. So yeah, let's start the Mythos phase and go to the agenda. Okay, step 1, add a Doom. We've reached the Doom threshold for this card. So those are all going to go away. And we're going to flip over this card. Let's see what happens. It is called Darkened Skies. A violent storm rolls in as your search continues. Black rain clouds conquer the sky, the air thick with humidity. You recall that all of the recent killings took place late at night under the cover of dark clouds. A shiver runs up your spine and you cannot help but wonder, what if you are next? Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay, that's an easy thing to do. Alright, put that back. If the Rougarou is in play, find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Well, that's every place. Move the Rougarou one location at a time until it enters that location. If it's not in play after moving on to the next agenda, add 1 Doom. Okay. Got to think about where this can move. Now, thinking on it, there's not really any good decision with what to do with the Rougarou. I could have it move 1, 2, 3 over to Jenny, who can then actually engage it and do something with it. But I really wanted Jenny and Pete to gang up on the Dark Young. And Pete's not going to be able to deal with it on his own. Yeah, he wouldn't. First of all, he doesn't have enough actions to take it out on his own, and he'd also have to get just stupendously lucky with 3 hits to get that done. So as much as I would like to actually engage the Rougarou, maybe find out what our other way is, I'm gonna actually put the Rougarou down in one of these New Orleans spaces. It has to be a non-bayou. I don't really want to put it into one of these. Well, it can't go there because it has to move. It's moving from. That's a bad place, because if you end your turn there, you draw a card, yay, but you take horror, and that's extremely bad. So we're going to have it moves 1 space at a time, I guess, in case anything interferes with it on the way. Move there, move there, and let's say we're going to move there. So yes, I believe that wraps up what we're going to do with that. Yeah, that's all for that side of the card. Now we're going to see what the next agenda says. Okay, the next agenda, Agenda 2A, the Rougarou feeds. Well, we don't have any mechanics text on there. All flavor. The only thing that's really relevant gameplay-wise is we have 6 rounds to go before this will turn over. The Rougarou feeds. Around you, the bayou feasts. Flesh rips, and jaws snap just beyond the trees, and light droplets of rain ripple upon the surface of the water. You can't tell exactly where the sounds are coming from. Perhaps it's the dreadful ambiance of the bayou itself. Alright, so that was just the beginning of the Mythos phase, doing the playing the Doom, and stuff happened. Now, our investigators still have to draw encounter cards. Alright, Jenny draws first, and she gets dragged under. Hazard. Revelation test. Her agility versus 3. If you fail, add dragged under to your threat area. Forced. When you leave your current location, take 2 damage and discard dragged under. Also forced at the end of your turn. Test agility versus 3 again, and if you succeed, you can discard it. Okay. Well. Okay, she has 3. She's got to get a 0 or better. You could use the manual dexterity. I kind of want to save that for evading critters if we have to. On the other hand, she's taken 3 damage already. I don't really want her to get this attached and just take 2 damage when she moves. And we are going to move. Alright, I'm going to do it. We're going to... If we succeed, we do at least get to draw a card if we use the manual dexterity. So we are spending that. So she's actually at 5 agility versus a 3. So -2 or better. -3. Well, that was a waste. So that's attached to her. She's going to take damage when she leaves the current location because I have to. We need to get moving. All right, let's see what Pete can do. All right, Pete gets the cursed swamp is back. Revelation test. Willpower against 3. For each point you fail by, take a damage. If you're in a bayou, you can't use a card. Well, we're not in a bayou, so he can use a card if you want to. Of course, he's got 4, so that's not too bad. Got guts. I suppose we could use that. Yeah, we don't want him to take too much damage because his health is not nearly as good. Well, right now it's as good as Jenny's, which is to say not good. He's at 5. So we'd need a -1 or better as it is. I guess we should probably spend the guts card. He's going to be rolling, well, not rolling, he's going to be at a 6. He will get the, again, like manual dexterity, if he actually succeeds. He'll get to draw another card. So 6 minus 3, so we need -3 or better. And -4. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, he's going to take another damage. And he doesn't get to draw a card because it was not a successful test. Blech. Well, right, Cursed Swamp goes away. That was really terrible all around. Let's move it into the investigation phase and see if we can have any success there. Alright, Jenny, for her first action, is going to move to the Forgotten Marsh, where the Dark Young host will engage with her. That's the first of 4 actions, because, yay, Leo DeLuca. And now we are going to, because we really want to kill this thing, and we really want Jenny to do damage, we're going to unload our Derringer into this guy. So, we have 3 uses. Going to spend 1 use there. Yeah, spend 1 ammo. Fight. You get a +2 for this attack, which is actually going to give her 5 versus its 4. If you succeed by 2 or more, the attack deals +1 damage. Using the Derringer. We're going to do... She's going to lose... yeah, when exiting this spot, she's going to lose resources anyway. So we're going to spend some on her physical training. As a free action, spend 1 resource to get +1 for the skill test. So if we were to spend 1, we're going to do at least 1. That puts her at 3, 4, 5. That puts her at 6 versus the 4. So she'd need a -2 or better from this. We want to spend the other one to... Well, no, let's rather spend the other one on a second... Or, yeah, on a second attack, just to make it more likely that we will succeed. Just going to zoom out a tiny bit there. So we want a -2 or better. 0 or better would be great. Oh. She got her Elder Sign. Yay, so +1 for each resource you have. She still has 1 resource. Which means, yeah, she succeeded. She definitely succeeded by at least 2. Yes. Because, yeah, that was a +1. So, yeah, she would... What did I say it was? 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. She was 7 versus 4. So, yes, she actually does 2 damage to it. Yay! The base 1 plus an extra for actually succeeding wildly. See if we can keep this going. For her second action, we are going to spend another ammo. We are also going to spend her last resource to up it to, it'll be 6 again. So again, we want a -2 or better. And we got, whoa, a -6. That is not -2 or better. So that one missed completely. Gonna shoot one more time. That means we're going to discard the Derringer. She has other weapons in there, so I'm hoping this isn't a foolish waste. Now we need a -1 or better. And -2. No. Well, she did 2 damage to it anyway. That was 4 actions. Moving. Shoot, shoot, shoot. At least she did a little bit. It's up to Pete to move in there and hopefully finish it off. Right, except I just realized that Pete cannot defeat it because he's only going to get to attack it once. Because he's got 3 actions. Well, we're committed. First action to move in to it. That space. Second action to engage it so that he can actually fight the thing. Then his third action is an attack. So let's, well, as it's not going to go away, let's move this down into his threat area, where we're going to choose which of his many combat options he's going to do. No, wait, I'm wrong. You don't need to be engaged with something to attack it. I think the Rougarou is confusing me because you need to engage with it to do stuff. Anyway, so Pete's going to get to attack it twice. So, well, let's go ahead and move the Dark Young down to his area anyhow, just because that's where all his fight cards are. But first, forgot about Dragged Under when Jenny moved away. She needed to take 2 damage. She's going to take 1 directly and put 1 on Leo DeLuca. So that now puts her down to 4 health. Yay. Okay, now we'll see if Pete can finish off this Dark Young host. Now keep in mind the Dark Young host is not actually engaged with Ashcan Pete, so it's not actually in his threat area. We're just putting it there so we can look at all his cards because he is attacking it. And I think we are going to start with Duke. See, Exhaust Duke, fight. You attack with a base combat skill of 4, which is better than his normal 2. And this attack deals +1 damage, so it'll do 2 against it. So yeah, let's exhaust him. We desperately need 0 or better. Oh god, we actually got his Elder Sign. So that's a +2. Oh, and we get to Ready Duke, which means we unexhaust Duke. That's nice, because we'll be able to use him again. So that actually does 1, 2 to the Dark Young. Dark Young host, rather. So we only need to do 1 more damage to it. So, well, as that got Duke back on his feet, we're going to attack with Duke again, because it's 4 versus 4. So once again, and we really, really need this to be 0 or better. Swear to God, you saw me. I was looking away, and I actually got the Elder Sign again. Well, that's amazing, because we get Duke back. Not that it much matters. We get him back at the end of the turn. So it's a +1, which means that, yeah, we actually managed to kill this stupid thing. And because it's got a victory point, it's supposed to go into the victory display, which won't actually carry over because we're not doing a full campaign, which means it doesn't actually go into the discard pile. It goes into a victory display. So that goes away. Yay! I can't believe I actually did that 3 times. I mean, you saw me. I did this, and I'm too clumsy to do sleight of hand, and then have you know, secretly held on to it to pull it 3 times in a row. So good. Yes, actually, after some bad Mythos effect cards, rousing success in taking out the monster. Well, except Jenny used wasted all her bullets. But she does have more weapons in there. She's got her twin, yeah, her twin 45s, are they? She's got her double-handed guns. And then there's a machete in there, and a knife, and maybe something else. Anyhow, hopefully she'll get one of those back soon. That actually concludes the investigation phase. Now, the enemy phase, which will be very short. Yes, enemy phase, Rougarou. Does nothing. It's not a hunter. Just going to hang out there. End of the phase. Then we will just be doing upkeep. We don't need to unexhaust any cards because that happened automatically with Duke. Good on Duke. And so yeah, now for resources and cards. Okay, Jenny's next card. She grabs Elusive, which lets her disengage from each enemy engaged with her and move to a revealed location with no enemies. Which is nice if she needs to get away from something. And then for her resources, she will grab 2, which are probably just going to go away from, yeah, they're just going to go away when she exits the marsh, but we'll grab them anyway in case we can use them during the Mythos phase or something. And now we'll see what Pete gets. Alright, Pete's next card is, slightly upgraded one because we're doing, was able to spend some XP as we're doing a single scenario. Found Peter Sylvester, big man on campus. He's keywords are ally, Miskatonic. You get +1 agility and +1 willpower. As a reaction, after your turn ends, heal 1 horror from Peter Sylvester. So he can soak up a horror damage and make it go away every turn. The broad-shouldered young man exudes the sort of confidence one only finds in youth. And I think I can have this and Duke at the same time because I noticed at some point that Duke does not actually have the ally symbol on him, so he doesn't count towards your ally maximum. So I can put him into play and still use Duke. And then Pete will get 1 resource, which he will probably lose as well when he moves out of the marsh. Alright, that's 1 turn with some highs and some lows. We'll do 1 more turn for the episode, so back around to the Mythos phase. Alright, first Doom on our new agenda. 5 to go. Now, encounter cards. Alright, what does Jenny pull? On the Prowl. Surge, so if we can't do what it says, we need to play the next card instead. Revelation, find a non-Bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. A dreadful howl pierces your eardrums. The Rougarou is on the move. That's okay, that actually works in our favor because we can want to send it somewhere with fewest clues. That's everywhere. Again, we picked them all up. So we could actually bring it quite a lot closer to us. So yeah, we could just bring it back to the twisted underbrush. And yeah, so don't... Oh, hold on. Just realized we're not looking at the map. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about moving it near us or far away, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. It just moves as far as we need it to, 1 location at a time. And there we go. It's entered that location. So we'll be able to have a look at it right away and see if there's anything we can do besides just killing the thing. So now it is, yeah, Pete's turn to draw a card. Okay, Pete, Swamp Leech. Creatures spawn any Bayou location. So it doesn't have to be where we are. It says any, so we could put it somewhere else so we don't have to deal with it quite yet. Yeah, Swamp Leech cannot be evaded. Forced when it enters a non-Bayou location. Discard it. Let's have a look at the map. Alright. Going to put it, actually going to put it down on the Cursed Shores so we don't have to deal with it. Don't really want to put it, here or there anyway, because it'll attach to Pete, and, well, because I don't want to attach it to Jenny. She's going to deal with Rougarou. And yeah, Pete's not going to leave a Bayou location for a while if he goes down here to explore. So yes, Swamp Leech spawns in the Cursed Shores. So that wasn't the worst Mythos phase possible. Now we'll move on to the investigation phase, and we're going to check out the Rougarou. Okay, Jenny first. And the first of her 4 actions, she is going to, first of all, move to the Twisted Underbrush. For her second action, she is going to engage with the Rougarou. Addition has an additional cost for an investigator to engage the Rougarou. The investigators must spend 1 clue as a group. Oh, right, and moving out of that space unfortunately costs her resources. Stupid Marsh. And she is going to spend a clue to engage with it. So that's going to go into her threat area. Okay, she has engaged the Rougarou. It is now attached to her. So, what we can do as an objective, when an investigator is engaged with the Rougarou, he or she may choose to advance, i.e. turn over this card, which we can only do once per phase, which to me implies that we're going to get to keep doing this. Taming the Rougarou. Conversing with the creature is a daunting task. No kidding. Whenever it is cornered, it bellows and attacks like a feral beast. If there is still some semblance of humanity left inside the creature, it is buried deep beneath the rage and bloodlust of the cursed. If each of the following requirements are met, proceed to Resolution 3. Otherwise, flip this act back to its A side. So, if we can do whatever all of these are, we can get the 3rd resolution, which I guess it would be one of the good ones. We must learn more about the curse. The investigators must have 8 clues as a group. Sure. You bet. I have a feeling we're not going to go this course. I can't imagine us getting 8 clues. We must keep it contained. The Rougarou must have a trap card attached to it, so we'd have to get that bear trap, which is going to cost a whole lot of resources to even try to get. We must protect ourselves. The Rougarou must have at least 2 damage on it, 1 per investigator, and we must calm it down. The investigators must have either found a binding stone, see, I knew it was important, or found a strange doll. Okay, well, obviously we have not done all of these things, so we're going to flip this back over. I don't know if that's a thing we can do. That's an awful lot of very difficult tasks. On the other hand, we have to fight this thing, which has retaliate. So every time we hit it, it's going to do 2 damage and 2 horror to whoever hits it. Have they received 2 damage during a single phase? Find the location farthest from all investigators. Move the Rougarou 1 location at a time. Wasn't there something about it leaving a trail of clues? No, maybe that's not the case anymore. Oh, right. After the Rougarou leaves a location, place one clue from the token bank on that location. That's going to take forever. I think we have to try to actually kill it. I can't imagine getting all 4 of those things. Except, hurting it a little bit, because that's the plan. Okay, so that's 2 actions for Jenny. It's given us something to think about. Ooh. Not sure I want her to attack it yet, because she's kind of badly hurt. And she doesn't have a weapon out yet, so we may have her try to evade. Okay, for her 3rd action, now that we've seen the impossibility of Plan B, Jenny is going to have to try to disengage from the Rougarou by evading it. She has an agility of 3 versus its evade of 3. We really need her to get away from it, otherwise it's going to bring her right to the brink of death. So we're going to use Unexpected Courage, which gives us 2 wild cards, maximum 1 per test. So that's going to give her a 5. We really need a -2 or better. Very, very badly. And we got a -3. Nope. Okay. So she's going to have to try again and hopefully get a 0 or better. Okay, that time she did it. Wasted that card, and that's her last action. So we're going to put this back up to the location because, oh, and I guess it's going to exhaust as well. Not that it matters because it's not going to move or do anything. It's aloof. Put that up there, and she is still going to take a 3rd horror. Yes, we need a massive amount of superpowered weapons at this point, which I have a feeling we're not going to get. All right, let's see what we can do with Pete. Okay, what Pete is going to do is get more prepared for fighting the Rougarou. First action, he's going to spend his emergency cash, giving him 3 resources. Second action, he's going to spend 3 resources to put his shriveling spell into play. Yeah, let's put that there. Oh, no, over a wee bit. And we're going to put 4 charges on that. Last action. I guess we just move him in there so he can start attacking. Because, yeah, I literally don't see what else to do. Back to the map for a moment. Okay, 3rd and final action. It's going to move over here. He does have to sacrifice that last resource he's got. And, yeah, that's it. That is all we can do. It's praying Jenny gets one of her weapons this turn, because I think if we don't, there's no hope in hell of killing this thing, but we'll give it a go. Okay, upkeep phase. Well, enemy phase. The swamp leeches down there, they don't move. Rougarou, even if it did move, it wouldn't because it's exhausted from being disengaged. So that brings us into the upkeep phase, during which the Rougarou will unexhaust, and we will go grab our resources and cards. Okay, Jenny's card. She gets her weakness, which is not so bad. In this case, it just means we wasted choosing a card. Searching for Izzy, task. Revelation, attach searching for Izzy to the farthest location from you. 2 actions. Investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, discard searching for Izzy. Forced. When the game ends, if searching for Izzy is in play, you suffer 1 mental trauma. Well, we are not actually doing a campaign, so it doesn't much matter if this is still in play. However, it means we got basically a dud card. So we're going to put this in one of the New Orleans areas down at the bottom, because those are farthest away. And then Jenny gets herself 2 resources. Now it's Pete's turn. Alright, Pete grabs a card. Manual dexterity, gives him a couple of agility to spend, and then he is going to grab himself 1 resource. That ends that phase, so that will bring us to the end of this turn and the end of this episode. Right. So, we do have to fight it, because these 4 things would take literally longer than we have. We're going to run out of time before we can do even a fraction of these things. Unless we were successful on every single skill check, and even then, because we'd still have to do some damage to the Rougarou. It will hit us for 2 physical and mental damage every single time, guaranteed. So that's going to plummet us. So what we need to do is big damage in as few turns attacks as possible. Of course, we do have the problem of the fact that we need clues to engage it, and only Jenny has 1 clue. So I'm kind of stumped on what to do. I may have to think about this one for a couple of days. But we'll get back to it soon. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos both on YouTube and Board Game Geek. I appreciate it. And we will see you next time for yet another round of Arkham Horror, the card game. So long.